and now it's a bouquet of songs.
Yeah.
And,
Also, I am personally very much for 40-45 minute albums because
time preference.
Hello everyone, I'm Dan and
Bart.
we are from Armed Cloud and you're watching LiveProg with Marcel Haster Rock and Roll!
Living as a slave forever.
Do you guys still play Magic the Gathering?
Oh, that's a nice one. We do not. I do play a little bit trading card games online, but no, we do still have the cards, and a couple of those cards are like worth like a ton.
Yeah, I think I have some in my basement somewhere, but maybe my kid is playing with them and maybe drawing on them. So I don't know the worth anymore. I'm more so it can be both ways. But it was our past. We met each other through Magic the Gathering. So and the style of the Magic the Gathering also connects with the music we make, and we did maybe some dragons, maybe some mystery.
Yeah.
But we really love the game.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward. Well, from 2005 to 2025, we're 20 years ahead, and your 5th studio album is out.
Yeah.
Eve was 12, so how are you feeling?
Oh, I mean, it's been way too freaking long. I mean, 9 effing years. Can I curse, by the way? All right, 9 fucking years. Yeah. I mean, the sad part is that we had the music lying around for ages now. But yeah, with Corona and
Life happening.
Life happening basically, and we had the brilliant idea of hey, let's build our own studio and do it in our own studio. But then things never get finished because you have your own studio and you can
Too relaxed.
And you can always do it better. And no. But now album 1 is finally out, and we are striving to get album 2, Evo's 12 Part 2. Out in maybe a year and a half time.
It's written for the most part, so we need some tweaks and some. We have a new Alex Ouwehand is of course a new guitarist, and it's a great addition to the band. Great, a little bit different than Remco, and it's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's the two same. It's not. It's really strange. So he's more the Floydian guy, and Alex is more the schools. He's schooled in the how do you call it? The college.
He also went to conservatorium and
conservatory. Yes.
And all the other things. But Alex is a mate, and we finally get to play the songs with Marc.
Who passed away.
Who passed away a couple. We get to play those songs again.
Yeah.
So that's
in full force.
Yeah.
How did you do that before Alex joined?
We avoided numbers. No, we did because you missed some really engaging. Marc was really a hard style riff master. And you missed it in the song, so we rather played the other songs that Marc was less on the foreground.
And also we've always been a band of friends, basically. I mean, the lineup hasn't changed in 25 years, and it's not fair to anyone to here's this group of guys who've been together for and you replace him. That ain't gonna work. But Alex is a mate.
It went natural, so
Alex is a true friend.
And he supported us with the previous albums from the sidelines, and now he's part of the band, and we're happier than ever.
That's good to hear that you're back in full force and everything, and well, with a brand new album out. Eve was 12. It is a bit of an odd name. How do you come up with that name?
Yeah. Marcel. He, our keyboard player. He wrote a book, and the book is called Evils 13, and it contains 2 parts, and this is the first part of it. It's a really intergalactic opera, space opera. He knows those things best, but in the songs you get the most. You hear what's going on. It's about a guy who wants to change the world, who lives in a dystopian world, and he creates something that makes his world better, and upon that, the more galaxies he's making better through that thing. So it's a little bit mysterious, but maybe he can explain that in a later interview.
The album is released about 9 years after World of Grey, and it seems like it picks up after the track Drum Wars, this story, but it's 9 years later. So was it always the intention, or could this new album have had a different story?
Marcel has really grown as a lyric writer, and World of Grey was the first album that he did all the. Previously, Marc did all the lyrics, all of them. And World of Grey, who's going to pick up the mantle, you know? And most
not me.
Yeah. And Mox was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and he really got inspired.
With flair, with flying colors.
Yeah. He really got inspired, and he travels a lot for his work. And when he's in London or Berlin, he's in his hotel room, and he started to write a book.
Yeah.
Not even for us, but for himself. And more he said, hey, I want to take this story that I wrote, which is a continuation. It's from the dystopian world. World of Grey was really a really messy world. It's after the war, after the big wars. So this is a new leadership is coming from the rubble, and then the Evils 12 start. So it really is a continuation, and also he will bring out the book as well, because for him it's a book first and lyrics second, but it will all complement each other. When the other album is out, then you can get the whole package, the book, the artwork, the album, everything.
Well, that's something to look forward to. Definitely. You also did these podcasts. How did that come to be? I mean, what was the idea behind that?
Once again, our Marcel, who was locked away in his hotel room, and said, "Okay, I'm going to do this." He just started doing the podcast, and then, hey, I've spoken some things in. Could you help me with some soundscapes? Could you
you helped with some soundscapes and some artwork. And it's about Nigel Light. It's the main character of Evils, and he. It's his own diary, and you can listen to his own diary. So it begins with this world is gone, everyone is under control, and then he finds something, and then he records everything how do you call it? Everything that happens, he records, and that are the podcasts. So you listen to, you have a peek in his life.
And the fun thing is the podcasts are complementary to the album. Because you can follow and get extra info.
Extra song info.
Extra info. What the song is about by listening to the podcast. Really get the complete picture.
So it's a much bigger thing than just an album. That's very impressive. When I listen to your music, I hear you have a kind of a sort of signature sound. You hear it's the Aurora Project. But at the same time, I do find some interesting influences in it. And when I was listening to Evils 12, there was one song I was like, whoa, what is this? Have Some Tea.
Jamaican sound.
That funky guitar at the beginning, but I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when I was listening to it, I had this feeling that it was the ghost of Floyd's Welcome to the Machine somewhere hidden in that
I haven't heard that one before. That is very interesting. But that song, it is a really odd song, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
Yeah. It is a trip.
So it has to be weird because trips are often weird.
Yeah. It is actually a bad trip.
Yeah.
It's a bad trip that
begins happy.
Yeah.
And then everything goes to.
And it's a bad trip that Mox, Joris, and I experienced.
In real time.
And this is like a week after the bad trip, we created this song. So yeah, it really strikes close to home.
Yeah.
So
okay. So altogether, there is also some. It's not just a science fiction story. There's also some personal parts in it.
It's woven in, but
music is personal.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And it is woven into the story.
Yeah. Okay. That's very nice. I noticed also that and maybe it's because you do mainly concept albums.
Yeah.
I think Shadow Border is not per se a concept album.
Shadow Border is also a.
It's also.
It's more of a thematic album than a concept album.
Yeah.
Shadow Border is really between the borderline between life and death and life after death.
Yeah.
And,
But is that maybe also why I find your music very cinematic? When I listen to it, the production and everything is really top notch, really clear sounds and everything. I really am impressed by it. So
well, it is what we love because all the bands we like, you hear in the music. So it's from Pink Floyd, of course, but also Porcupine Tree. If you have a bowl, you mix all our favorite bands together. It's and then something special. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and but basically we still create our songs by jamming and it's not that hey I have this song and let's play this note for note. No, we get together.
We just start. Then we see where it goes. And sometimes it goes nowhere, and sometimes it's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's the friendship we have,
Yeah.
and that's the magic.
Yeah. And oh yes, we are very addicted to just give me a low synth note. And let's do guitar solo, and we live in a society, and
When you talked about the story of EVOS 12, you said that there was like the previous album actually was a dystopian future, and EVOS 12 is kind of the what happens next.
Continuation.
If you look at the world today, and you look at the music, I would almost say you guys were a bit visionaries.
Yeah, we've always have a knack for like conspiracy-driven prog rock, and it is crazy. Because
art imitates life.
Imitates art.
Yeah. And it was always a kind of dystopian. We write about wars, about drone wars. That are things that are fascinating for me and for Mox and for everybody, because technology is for us a really big thing. So it's technology, and then with the human brain, and what then happens are albums we make.
Yeah, but it is. So we used to do a lot of like video projection and during our gigs, and we explicitly chose not to do this now because we don't want to play with a click. We don't want to play with orchestra tapes, or we really want to do the band. But also our old video material, it was all about lots of war and lots of very strong imagery, and that's a bit on the nose at the moment.
People come for comfortable nights, and then so we are away from the news and all the mess, and then you get everything in their face. So we do it. The music is doing the visuals, so it happens in your brain. I think it's better in these days.
I can imagine that. I mean, if you call an album selling the aggression, you kind of get it.
But we were ahead of the curve. Yeah,
definitely, and
prophetic.
and that is something I also notice in the artwork is also very how you say it really appeals, and it really fits the theme of the music. The artwork for EVOS 12 is a bit different. It's more, when you look at it, it's like, what is it?
He's missed the artwork in the days, and still, but
we are and will always be like a do-it-yourself band. And I mean, these days and ages, like, it's so easy to just go to Midjourney or ChatGPT and give me a prog metal cover, and
you get dragons, you get everything,
and you see these kind of albums popping up everywhere. So every album art is more epic than the other one, and it's all.
So we go back to simple, and then.
This is
it's more unique, I think, that way.
This is and you can interpret it however you want. It could be a world, it could be connected worlds, it could be everything. But we wanted a really simple, striking image, also to counter all of the AI bullshit.
And all the other prog albums, of course.
Of course.
The artwork.
Yeah. So it really stands out. I mean, well, with the title, with the artwork, it stands out, and of course, well, the music is really beautiful. I gotta say, A World of Grey, Stone Eagle, that is my goosebumps song.
Beside we must, how can we turn this back? It's over. When the ego turns to stone. Pride and compassion, now it's gone.
But on EVOS 12, I also found one. I was really surprised. I found one, and it's the last one, Freedom of Thought. I was listening to that, and I was like, oh man,
it's about emotions and feelings. It's sometimes maybe a bit cheesy, but to sing, but it's really beautiful. It's a hold me closer. It's really a kind of love song. But it's really nice for a change.
It's the closest thing that we have
to a ballad.
Only it's 12 minutes, and it has 7 time changes, and it has metal riffs.
You can cut 7 ballads from this song.
Okay. No. But that's well. I gotta say, from start to finish, I absolutely love the album, and I'm very curious, of course, what the next album will bring. You already mentioned a few things about it. What I'm a bit curious about is you didn't choose to do like a double album. You chose to do 2 separate albums. Why? When did you go that way?
We wanted to do a double album.
It was too much for one. Maybe.
And also we hadn't released music for so long. And if you wait for things to be perfect, they will never get done. And if you do that times 2, so if you want 2 perfect albums. Then
you lose focus. It's too much.
And then then you probably had to wait for 2 more years.
Okay.
So that's why we chose. Okay, I don't want to say get this out of the way, but let's give people something, because we miss you guys. We miss you guys. We want to see you again. We want to play for you.
We miss you too.
And you can more focus on a set of songs, you know, if you release it in 2 parts. And otherwise it's a lot of songs. And now it's a bouquet of songs. And,
also, I am personally very much for 40-45 minute albums, because
time preference.
People
have no time to listen to
it's a busy world, and I do love my epics, but if an album is 80 minutes, I like all killer, no filler, and a real short, memorable album. And now you'll get 2 of them.
Definitely, and I agree with you. I think it's more quality in a short amount of time. I mean,
and we can focus the content more on a set of songs.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, I'm also curious. I mean, the album is out now. People are going to listen to it. It's going to be reviewed. Does that give any pressure for the next one? Like you set a sort of standard, and you have to think like, will the next one be?
Well, the next one is already written for the most part, so we know it's connected to the first one. So if you like this one, I think you get more of it the second one, because we think the better songs, personally, are on the second part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to.
Don't want to downplay this one.
Yeah,
but
but
it's more. It's more grandiose, more.
Yeah.
A little more epic, more
it's the
gritty.
It's the conclusion of the story.
Yeah.
Basically. So.
And the end of the book is always the most memorable.
Yeah. It's the third act.
But you need this one to understand the second one.
I get it. Well, if I listen to this one and then you say the next one is better, wow.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't write these songs in order. I mean, all these songs were written. There are songs on this album that were written after songs that are on the second album. So it's it is the next album, but it's the same set of songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting to hear that process to go. With EVOS 12, you did the podcasts. With the next one, you also planning something around it, or is that a secret we have to wait?
We would love to make it a really big production, because now we have 2 CDs, and now we would love to perform
the entire concept. So a big night in a big venue with maybe guest musicians, and because the story then we can tell the story, and this is a nice part of the story. But this album is part of the story, and then we can do everything, and then we want full Pink Floyd style, with less costs.
Yeah. And a smaller wall.
Yeah. So